From visa struggles to long-haul flights, traveling as a Nigerian isn't always easy. But that's not stopping one woman from chasing history. She's on a mission to visit 7 continents in just 70 hours without a private jet. A daring dream, an impossible challenge, or a new world record in the making? Well, joining me now is the woman behind all that. But before she comes on, let's watch this video real quick and we'll talk to her.
7 continents in 70 hours with my Nigerian passport. I'm Asinobi, I'm Nigerian, and I've traveled to over 30 countries across 5 continents, showing thousands of people how to travel the world regardless of the color of their passport. But now, I'm about to take it a step further and do something that's never been done with a Nigerian passport. In just a few days, I'll be attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the fastest time to visit all 7 continents. Yep, that's right. From the chilly remote corners of Antarctica all the way to Australia, stepping foot on every single continent in between. For years, I've traveled the world with one of the lowest ranking passports. I've seen beautiful places, but at what cost? Almost every trip has been a battle, a fight, a new mission. I faced visa rejections, waited weeks without my travel document, thousands of dollars spent on applications. But in all of these, I've continued chasing after the life I want. Because my dreams will not be limited by the color of my skin or the color of my passport.
Prepare for departure, cross-check.
For this record, the rules are strict. Visit all 7 continents, and not just the airports. Get into each city, collect evidence, and document every step of the way. With precise timing and zero room for error. Every second counts. I've gone through hell to secure visas, planned several alternative routes, and prepared for every possible obstacle. But one delayed flight, one missed flight, one cancelled flight, and the record could be over.
Oh my goodness, 1 missed flight. I was about to say, hope you're not taking... Well, let me not mention the airline. Okay, let's start PG. Alma, I mean, we know you as, you're big on travel. We're just talking, before we came on air, and I was saying how I definitely see the world through your eyes because we both have Nigerian passports and we both travel a lot. So at what point did you go, it's time for me to use my skill and my passion to actually break a Guinness World Record?
That's a very good question. I didn't just start out thinking, I want to break a Guinness World Record. I started out thinking, I want to do something for the plot. At first, I wanted to just do it, right? Just because I was like, and it actually started with me wanting to travel across Africa. It was called Project 54. And this is the first time I'm saying it, but that is where it started. And then I looked around, the logistics were very, very terrifying. And believe it or not, this is actually somewhat easier than traveling across Africa. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
I decided to do this because I've faced visa rejections so many times, just like almost any other Nigerian that travels a lot and travels with a Nigerian passport. And I was like, someone needs to talk about this because it's not just a problem that is... would I say, reserved for the ultra-rich people, is also something that affects anybody. I know of someone who lost his mom because she was supposed to go for a surgery. She couldn't get a visa in time. I don't remember the country, but yes. And someone's life has changed significantly because of the color of their passport. And so I just thought, this is something that not too many people talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe because we're trying to focus on the very basics, food, electricity, all of those things. And I just thought, if there's anything I've done is run across the airport because I'm 1 minute late. So I might as well. So here we are.
I like that. And, thank you for doing this and for, just highlighting, the problems or the challenges that, come with owning a Nigerian passport. I love my country, but there's still so much that we can do better. So let's talk about the planning process of this. In that video, I saw you saying, you've mapped it out, you've spent thousands of dollars just trying to prepare. So talk to me about that preparation process. 7 continents. Are you starting in Antarctica or are you starting here in Africa?
Okay, so I'm here right now just trying to take as much support and as much love as I can from you guys, from Nigerians, from my family, from everyone. And I will be going to my starting point in Antarctica. So I'm starting off from Antarctica and I'm making my way all the way to Australia. Whatever happens in between is between me, the airlines, and
good.
but I'm going to go from Antarctica to Australia. And I'm trying to do that within 70 hours. For context, the current record is 73 hours, 5 minutes, 4 seconds.
Right.
And so that's just a little over 3 days. I'm trying to do this in 70 hours or less. So this is 70 hours of non-stop flying, racing through airports, racing through immigration, answering questions. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Do you have a visa? Some. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm ready.
I want to zone in on this thing. So explain it to me, right? I also believe that you're probably picking a country that is in terms of geography is closer to the next continent, right? So when you get into that country, how do you prove, like, okay, I've been here? It's not just like I just landed at the airport, I'm just like, hey, and then you get back on the plane. So you have to go through immigration. So those are all of the things that add to your time.
You have to do, yes.
So what do you have to do when you get to the country?
You have to follow.
Yeah.
For the record, you have to, and they're very strict. You have to take a picture or take a video when you take off. So you have to also take a GPS device with you that's tracking your entire, like the altitude, like elevation, everywhere, the whole time. And whatever video you take with the timer has to correlate with the GPS device because it would check. Second thing is you cannot take any form of private transportation. I mean, I don't have a private jet, but even if I did...
You could just call the video up and be like, yo, are you trying to help us win this Guinness World Record or
I'm sure
what?
you'll come through, but unfortunately, we can't do that. And so I can't take a private jet or any form of private transportation. This includes road transportation as well. So if I land, let's say in an airport, just say London, I have to take the train, or I can't take an Uber.
You can't take an Uber?
No, I can take licensed taxis, but not an Uber. Like it has to be like...
Is that private in their terms?
Technically, yes. I asked just to be sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just said I can take licensed taxis. So I can take like the airport taxis and stuff. All of those are licensed with the city or the state, that's fine. And if those licensed taxis break any rules while I'm in there, disqualified.
What kind of rules could they possibly break?
Traffic rules. Go beyond the speed limit because the GPS is tracking my speed as well.
Wow.
That, and they cannot also drive more than 50 kilometers.
From the airport?
Wherever. I can't go for more than 50 kilometers by road, like connecting to takeoff points.
Yeah, I would imagine that you don't want to go too far from the airport,
exactly.
right? So that also helps.
That also kind of adds to what you were going to say earlier about like going to countries that are close to the edge of the continent. That's a fantastic idea. However, there are some other considerations because you also have to consider how rich or how connected the country's flag carrier is. So if you're going to a country that doesn't have, they're really, really close to the edge of the continent, but they don't have so many international flights to certain destinations, you have to consider that as well. There's also the part where you can't, there's certain flying from North America, for instance, to Europe. I don't know if it's something with the flights that just go across that pond, but you have to, most of the flights take off in the night, right? So if I get there, so I have to reroute and plan in such a way that I can actually go, most of them take off from around like 8 p.m., yes, and for cities that have really, really, cities, let's say London, for instance. London would be great because it's very well connected. Yeah. However, most of the airports in London are far from the city. Like you have to take like 45 minutes,
even
15
just
minutes.
Immigration alone, because of the number of flights that land in Heathrow Airport or even in a Gatwick Airport, for example.
Yeah. This
is wild, Amma. Like, I'm praying for you here. Like, oh my God.
I can use all the
Let's talk about your mental prep, because everything you've spoken about has just been, logistics, flight time, working with the GPS, following the rules. Talk to me about your mental state, because from what I hear, you leave on Tuesday. This starts on Tuesday, so by Friday we will know if or this Saturday we will know if we have another Guinness World holder in our midst. How are you feeling right now? How are you mentally preparing for such a complex, strenuous, but possible trip?
I think if it can be done, I'm the best person to do it. I think if it can be done, then it should be done. If at the very least, it should be attempted. And because and this is very tough for me because I'm usually I can be very I want to be in control of the plan. I need to have everything detailed. But I'm starting in Antarctica, and everything is just like, Antarctica doesn't even have scheduled flights per se,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, your flight is at 8 a.m., it's at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
This is just, oh, guys, the weather is clear, let's go. So it's based on the weather. And because that's my starting point, I can't exactly plan everything else to the T.
Right.
I know exactly where I'm going to be per time. So what I did was I divided the day into 4. I can afford to lose some hours in the airport, like between South America and Antarctica. So divided it into 4. If, depending on what time my flight in Antarctica lands, then I have a route. So I have different routes. And that means increased costs because I have to, exactly. So, but mentally, I'm really just drawing from everybody's energy, to be honest. My parents are very supportive. I remember telling my dad and my mom first time.
Energy to receive.
I drew from like my family, my friends, my uncles. I received so many messages since the announcement went live. I didn't even see it coming. I thought, you know, and because of how uncertain things were, I thought I would just like drop the video. It's just going to, oh, maybe like just a few people will say, oh, congrats, well done. Then I'll just go and do my world record, JJ. If I beat it, no, if I don't beat it,
you don't make noise.
so
Just
I'm
keep
like,
quiet
let me
and
just
enter
do
Nigeria
it.
quietly.
But I'm like, Nigerians are wow. Like I don't know what to say. Like the support has been so immense. It's been so, everybody has been so supportive, so encouraging. And I'm drawing from that strength because on my own, I am freaking out.
I can imagine.
I'm freaking, I mean, I run through airports all the time. I'm always like cutting it very close. But now I'm like, okay, the world is watching me. When that happens. Yeah. So yes, I'm mentally, I'm, you know, just trying to draw from everybody's energy, but also I'm seeking professional help. Yeah. I know that. Very important. Yeah, I'm not, you know, going to just do this by myself. And I know I have a family and support system, but I'm just speaking to people, professionals, who are able to guide me to like what to do, you know, like steps to take, some things that I need to do or practice over time before
just to keep you grounded.
Just to keep me grounded. Some things I also have to take with me as sort of like a familiar, just piece, just to keep me like grounded. And it's really great, but yes, I think that's mostly it's on the mental health front.
All right, we're going to be wrapping up the show very soon, but I want to just ask you this, and it's actually because you said there are some things that you would take. Now, for me, when I travel, I have this duvet that always comes with me. It's a little cute duvet. I got it at Coachella 2 years ago. It's very cute, very cozy. Because I don't trust those seats, I just like to put something there. Is there one thing that anytime you travel, whether it's on this trip or even, you know, in the past when you've done like your travel vlogging, that must always be with you? For some people, it could be like a teddy bear. For some people, it's like a, you know, a key holder. Is there any like specific thing that is very like, oh, if I don't have this thing with me, I can't travel. I don't feel complete.
Okay, so first of all, there is like I travel with one particular sweater. It's my travel sweater. Yes. Sometimes it changes. Like after I've used it for a while, after I've used it for a while, I might get a new one, but I would use that for a while, you know. But on this particular record, what that would be for me would be the Nigerian flag. Oh. I'm breaking 2 world records, so this is the second world record. Second world record is the most signatures on a single piece of travel memorabilia. Oh. So I'm traveling with the Nigerian flag.
You get most people
and the Nigerian flag will be, at the end of the record, the flag that has traveled to all 7 continents the fastest. Oh, I love Which is very ironic because like we have a Nigerian passport, but look at us. We're around the world, we're global. Look at us. And so when we get back, I want everybody, I mean, the number to beat is 500, which is chicken numbers where we've got this. Yeah. So we're just trying to get as many people as possible to come out, to eat, drink, play, network, and sign the flag to bring the second Guinness World Record back home.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Followed you on Instagram. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be praying for you, just making sure that everything goes smoothly. Tomorrow is International Women's Day, or rather, by the time this shows tomorrow, it will be International Women's Day. So I wish you a happy International Women's Day, Alma. Now, if you, if you're interested in following her journey, just follow her on Instagram. That's a wrap on today's edition of Arise 360. What a show it has been. Remember, the world of entertainment never sleeps, so catch us every weekday at 5 p.m. for the latest in film, television, music, arts, and culture. Until next time, I'm Sheyiton Atigari. Thank you for watching and see you again soon.